So as you guys can see, today's reading is gonna be really special. All these gorgeous oracle decks, which are part of the Seasons of the Witch collection, pertain to specific pagan holidays. This is the Witch's Wheel of the Year. And I really felt inspired to use them, to put them in your service, to see what advice you need to receive at the moment from the spiritual Coven. Let's do this. I'm so excited. Hello crew, welcome to the Spiritual Social. I'm Lexi and I'll be your guide for today. Welcome to my channel, welcome to my divination table. I thought of creating a reading for you guys that came to me yesterday night. I've been on a trip to Moldova, which I've documented as a vlog on my second channel, The Eden Nearby. If you want to go and have a look, it's gonna premiere in a couple of days. But anyway, Moldova is this region where a lot of my ancestors come from, especially from my mother's side. And I do feel like the members of my family from my mother's side are a little bit witchy and intense. And when I arrived in Bucharest, I felt very drawn towards working with the energy of the Coven, of especially the oracle and tarot decks that I have that represent witches and witchcraft. In addition to this, I've also managed to stream last night the movie Long Legs with Nicolas Cage, and it was really intense. And I highly recommend that you guys watch it, but be careful because it's a horror and it can really upset those of you that are more sensitive. I really enjoyed it. I thought it was really well made, and it has this theme of darkness and witchcraft and cavorting with the guy I shall not name who lives underground, apparently. I guess you can fill in the blanks. Don't want to spoil the beautiful light energy of this reading by introducing the names of the dark. So after watching that movie, this morning I woke up and I also started playing a new game called Dreams from the Witch House, which is a game that was inspired by a story written by H.P. Lovecraft. So I find it fascinating how these two resources came to me at the same time as I was thinking about my female ancestral heritage and witchcraft and witches, and I find it fascinating to explore the dark even in my position as a light worker, although in the recent year, as Pluto has entered my 4th house and is changing my soul, I am very drawn towards shadow work. So I'm very grateful to kind of upgrade my status from light worker to shadow worker, or shadow walker, better said. I will write an article and it will be published on my website, thespiritualsocial.com, in which I'm going to talk a little bit more in depth and give you some literary sources as well related to this transformation. But please make sure to look at all the links that I placed in the description box below for you guys. There's so much to explore. I have 4 different YouTube channels for you guys to enjoy. One of them is a gaming channel, and yes, I will be creating a video about my experience playing Dreams in the Witch's House. It's a cool game. I love it so much. Thank you as well for those of you who have been following me on Instagram. I have been very consistent there lately with short form pick-a-card readings, and also I've been reading loads this summer. I love the fact that my healing journey has taken me down this cultural resources path, and I feel like I'm growing a lot. Okay, all of this being said, I realize now that this introduction is pretty long. I created this reading for myself last night and I had some really fascinating insights, so I thought of creating one for you as well. As you guys saw in the introduction to this video, I have a collection of 8 oracle decks that are part of the Seasons of the Witch collection created by Lorianne Anderson and Julia Diaz. It's a gorgeous collection. I think it completely changed the divination landscape, and it came about as the fruit of Neptune and Pisces, this incredibly spiritualizing transit that has ended this year. And of course, it is inspired by the pagan holidays. Halloween, by Yule, by Imbolc, Midsummer, Lammas, Mabon, Ostara, Beltane. So we have a variety of pagan holidays that we celebrate. I wanted to bring the witch's advice from each of these different seasons to you. And the way this reading is going to work, I'm not using tarot at all. It's purely an oracle-based reading. And I want you to select your object. This is your entry, spiritual object, your entry into the energy of the Coven. Now I'm going to zoom in the camera so that you can see the objects better. I also decided to give you an oracle card that describes in a way the object, the witchy object that I have placed here before you. These cards are taken from the Witch's Oracle. So just to help you a little bit, if you don't like the object, maybe you feel very drawn to the card or to the description, the words on the images. I have 3 choices for you guys today because it can get quite in-depth and I don't know how much energy I have. Let me introduce to you the options. I have here for group 1, this is a besom. It's actually a besom that has been in a way purified and enhanced by the crystals it came with. This is tiger's eye. It's a tiger's eye tip. And I have here some amethyst. It used to have an image of a winged Isis, but it fell down. And now she is living in one of my potted plants, helping one of my plants to grow. But this is for you, group 1, so your besom or the witch's broom. And I have here the corresponding card from the Witch's Oracle. It's unfortunately not a broom, not a besom, but the broomstick. Yeah. So we have here cleansing, broomstick, number 17, the sun and the moon, or you can go by the object itself. The Oracle cards have already been reshuffled. I went into a meditative trance earlier. I said a prayer and I cleansed the space and then I pulled the cards. I don't know what the cards look like. It will be a surprise for me too, because that's what makes these readings so awesome. For you, group 2, I have the choice of a really fascinating object. This is a ceremonial knife that is used in rituals. It's helpful to cut cords, to mix essences. So it's called the Athame or Athame, however you want to call it. And it was a gift, and I'm so grateful to the subscriber who sent this my way. Or you could go by the image, yeah? If you don't like the object itself, maybe you like the image, yeah? The Commander of Power, number 23, the Athame. And for you, group 3, of course, we have none other than the Cauldron. It's this image. So we see the witch and the cauldron and the protective pentagram underneath it and her staff of power and her goblet. The cauldron is a symbol of the womb. It's a highly feminine, holding, healing energy. Witches would not only create spells in a cauldron, but they would also boil water to help sterilize objects when they would help other women give birth. They would create soups and other nourishing elixirs to help people come back to life after near-death experiences or illnesses. So the cauldron is a giver of life. And I have here this tiny replica of a cauldron. This is where I burn my incenses. I basically just fill up this little pot with water, pour some essential oils inside of it, and then it just heats up with this tea light. And this is a tea light that has the scent of, I think it was pansies. It's light pink. Yeah. Maybe this helps. I don't know. I'm just trying to give you guys as many descriptions as possible to help you choose one of these objects or witches cards. Okay, so really focus in on them. Let's see if I can actually center the camera a little bit better. Okay, take some time right now to focus on each of these objects. See which one pulls you in the most. And if you have made your choice, then my loves, I'm so excited to be creating this reading for you all. Wow, the introduction is 10 minutes long, but I had a lot of things to say. So thank you kindly for listening, and thank you as well for making your choice. Now I shall see you at your blessed pile. So let's see what the witches have to tell you. Hey group 1, hello darlings. So you are the group that decided to go for the besom or the broom or the broomstick card, the cleansing energy. You are here because through some sort of beautiful magic you stumbled upon my reading. In case you're a new subscriber, I highly recommend that you subscribe. If you are a returning subscriber, I'm so grateful that you are here. Let's have some fun with today's reading. I'm going to pull out the view so that you get to see, there we go, zoom out, so that you get to see the entirety of the cards, and then I will see how I will zoom in and out if necessity tells me to. Yeah, so let's begin. Let's see the cards that you got. We have here foraging, number 17. There is no better feeling than having gone after what you desire. Okay, we also have here cardinal medicine. Thyself bleeds of sacredness and honor fit for the gods. You are worth all of the seas and all of the skies and all of the desires you hold inside. Number 3. Okay. We also have here the Wildcat. Wow, Grandmaster number 44. And we see here, be still and tune in, for there is something afoot lurking alongside you. Okay, so there's something around you at the moment. We also have, oh my goodness, this is such a beautiful card. Cancer number 3. Okay, so I can see already 3-3. So call yourself back from all space and time to feel, sense, and reflect on the oceans of your presence within. Some of you may be Cancerians, or you have some very strong moon energy. Now, I also have here Corn Dollies, number 11. The relationships that nourish are those you nurture with your spirit. Now a card from the OG Seasons of the Witch Oracle. This is the first one, the Halloween one. Transformation, number 39. Like 1,000 storms held in hands soft against the winds, there is change arising from deep within. And we also have grounding. Okay. Wake up, dear one, from the slumber you find comfort in. The truth is seeking those ready to acknowledge it. Groundhog. Okay, and the final card. The mushrooms, number 25. Your resilience is unwavering in the pursuit of anything that may come your way. Okay, so my beautiful group 1. So let's take them one by one. I see a lot of repeating master numbers. It seems like numerologically you're coming into alignment with something important that you've been trying to manifest. We have 11, 44, 3, and then we have 17, 25, 25 twice, and 39. This would be a good period to play the lottery. Don't go crazy with playing the lottery. Don't bet a large sum. Maybe something small like $5, 5 euros, 5, I don't know, of the currency in your own specific country. But I feel that you are in some way blessed by the divine with good luck with money, good luck with numbers. Things are kind of forming themselves into order after a period in which you may have been a little bit chaotic. I see that you have been trying to make some changes in your life, and your transformation is finally settling. Whatever blew up in smoke, maybe at the beginning of this year, is now finally finding its form. I see here that with Corn Dollies, you have a lot of influence over the people in your life. And I definitely feel that you have been changing at an emotional level. It's like you are either maturing because of the fact that you are becoming more sensitive, more vulnerable, more in touch with your feelings, or you are finally learning from your relationships. Yeah, and there was an alarm outside that I feel very aptly summarizes this vibration. With the groundhog here, a groundhog is an animal that searches in the dirt for gems. Groundhogs can often be seen to find all sorts of interesting things to eat in the dirt. So it's kind of like you've had to deal with a lot of unsavory people or difficult situations, but you still found the gem, the wise pearl in a situation that looked dirty or nasty, or you didn't want to deal with it. You made everything you could with your resources, yeah? So with foraging and mushrooms and groundhog, these are elements of a person that had to survive with minimal resources. But at the same time, you valued them, you grew from them, and it's kind of like you prospered from them. You were happy with the little you had and you multiplied it in some way. And I have a feeling that if your relationship has been tested, your relationship with a certain someone, although I see here that relationships overall have been a little bit more difficult, there have been some control issues here in your relationships to other people. I feel a lot of anger may have had to be processed in your connections with others. Maybe a tough exchange of words, some difficult conversations, maybe ego and pride issues that had to be managed. I feel like in this period, you are finally coming back to yourself. Yeah. So I feel like it's kind of like, okay, what I'm picking up on, and I have to tell you, but it's kind of like, you know, when you begin a computer game, right? And you're making a lot of mistakes because it's the first time when you are playing the game, right? And you don't know what you're doing. It's a new game. You don't have a walkthrough. Nobody's by your side to tell you what to do. You just go with the story and you try to save your character, and you're doing your best not to die and to progress to the next level. But you make a lot of mistakes because nobody is by your side to tell you what to do. So by making those mistakes, you're learning, and each mistake you make, you're getting better and better because you're learning more and more. And now it's kind of like you press the reset button, your character somehow died in the game, and you are allowed to restart the computer game. And now you know, because you have an increased awareness. You made all those first mistakes when you played the computer game and you were completely blank. You had no idea, no expectations. You just wanted to play a fun game. But now you are wise. Now you know what the pitfalls are. Now you know what to say. Now you know what dialogue options to go for. And you are progressing through your game, and you're saving your character at the speed of light because you got the reset. Yeah, you had the opportunity to begin again with the story. And I feel like this is what's happening at the moment. A doorway of opportunity guided by the witches, as I am to tell you at this moment. It's almost like these divine feminine energies that have been persecuted throughout history have come together to give you a portal's opening. And I feel like somehow something happened this summer, or it will happen in the summer during Cancer and Leo season, because we have these two energies over here side by side. And Cancer and Leo season is a moment in which you are rising into power, rising into awareness, my love. And you're also leveling up from the status of being maybe like a person that constantly makes mistakes, a person that constantly feels ashamed, a person that is not valued or struggles with resources, with money, with feeling safe, with feeling abundant. You are leveling up. There is a portal of emotional growth that is being sped up, and you are leveling up, and all of a sudden you begin to attract the right kind of people. You begin to have more control in your personal connections. People tend to see you as wiser, more in control, and thereby you become in demand. By the way, you should go and listen to the Scottish band Texas. They have a song called In Demand, and yeah, it's fascinating because Charlene Spiteri, the lead singer of that band, is dancing with Severus Snape. Well, the actor who played Severus Snape, whose name I forgot at the moment, but it was fascinating because she was a Scorpio sun and he was a Pisces sun. Anyway, go and have a look at it, and it's fascinating. The video, the song, it's beautiful. Maybe the lyrics to that song can tell you something more about you being valued at a different level right now. Yeah. So I'm going to zoom in and show you a little bit these cards more in depth. So I see here that the advice with the wildcat is that it's good for you to be in a state of rest at the moment, yeah? Something is happening magically as you are resting. It's almost like bits of your life are falling into place as you take your time to rest and to prioritize self-care. So don't push things too hard if nothing is working and you're not achieving your goals at the speed of light. It will happen for you. You will be placed in a condition where you will meet the right people. The key to solving your problems is not to think about them, but to feel your way through life, yeah? It's more important to focus on what you feel and the people around you and how they're feeling about you than how you think about stuff. So if you make people feel good, if you make yourself feel good, you know you're in alignment. Yeah, so now it's time for you to concentrate. You've been doing too much, spreading yourself thin, and it has been impeding with your personal transformation. But your transformation is now ending. It is completing the cycle of chaos and smoke and mirrors, as you can see. So these 1,000 storms that may have crushed in the window pane of your personal life are now transforming into soft winds, yeah? And you will finally feel like you're becoming whole again after being split apart. And you may have been feeling like you were either controlled by other people or other people wanted you to control them. It felt that relationships were weird and like you couldn't focus on somebody or people couldn't see you for your real self. And that is because you had to heal some issues from the past. And I feel like right now you're released from the karma, you paid it back, and your relationships with other people will begin to feel more solid, more stable. Yeah, you may have suffered from the transit of Uranus conjunct your Venus, or Uranus in the 7th house, really throwing a spanner into the well-oiled machine of relation, of relationships, of relating to other people. But all the groundwork you have been doing, we see here with foraging and groundhog, is finally paying off, okay? So you have gone after what you desired or after whom you desired, and now you will get things reciprocated, okay? So after a period of rest, you will be woken up and you will be able to move forward with your goals. Just don't put too much pressure on yourself to do things before it is time. If you feel like resting in this period, take that rest, believing and trusting that magic is afoot and it's taking place behind the scenes on your behalf. Because it is, yeah? So mushrooms always make me think of things that sprout in adverse conditions after a lot of rain and precipitation. So after sadness, the ground has healed and it's sprouting up new opportunities for you. Like mushrooms after a storm, many different opportunities, many different people are entering your life. So your resilience, the fact that you were this ground dweller for a period, the fact that you have to do this mucky groundwork and literally dig through the muck in order to find jewels, you are now going to finally be recompensated for them in a way. It's kind of like you went foraging, you discovered some really gorgeous and nutritious mushrooms or other herbs, and you're finally going to the market and people are buying everything you gathered, So to use a metaphor, this is what's coming up next. I feel that the next full moon, which will coincidentally be a full moon eclipse from the moment when I'm filming this reading, is going to bring you a watershed of new things into your life. So take the time to rest now, because you will regret not being able to rest when all of these opportunities, all of these new people will enter into your energy next. This has been the witchy reading that I had for you, my beautiful group 1. I hope you have enjoyed it. Thank you kindly for listening, and good luck, and choose to be a good witch, okay? See you in next one. Bye-bye. Hey, group 2. Hello, darlings. Welcome to your witchy advice reading. Let's find out what all of the witches of the Seasons of the Witch Oracle collection and basically the cycles of the year, the ones who rule over the pagan holidays of the year, have to tell you. So this is a reading for those of you who are drawn to the ceremonial witch knife, or the Athame, the Athame, however you want to pronounce it. I'm going to put the object over here alongside with the card that you may have been drawn towards. We have here the Commander of Power, number 23, basically a hand coming out from a pool of water and basically holding this ceremonial knife, this dagger that helps in the creation of spells, that helps with manifestation, that is a conduit of energy. Yeah. A knife also cuts and separates what is no longer useful from what can be used. If you think about how you cut vegetables or meat when you're trying to cook, or when you think about the surgeon's knife that cuts away tumors or impurities in the body when they're trying to operate on somebody. Yeah. A knife also can release you from burdens when you think about cutting energetic cords from somebody, right? It's not necessarily only a tool to be exerted in a form of violence. It's not necessarily only an aggressive object. It is also something that can purify, liberate, and basically be used for protection as well. So just a bit of an introduction for those of you that were drawn to this. Now let's see the cards that you got. So let's see, we have here elderberries, number 13, and we see here that this person is making elderberry syrup. There it is, a knowing within bone. Allow it to guide you. Okay, we have here, oh, we got the chills card. Are you sick when you're watching this? I think that some of you could be struggling with the flu or some sort of fever. So take really good care of yourself. This is the first message that the Coven wants to convey to you. Upon my flesh, within thy bones, quivers a crawling frozen in numbness. Shall I ignore or shall I bestow it? The frozen knowing looks back at thy soul. Oh, okay. I'm hearing the Queen of Frost. So maybe your emotions have been put on a back burner. Maybe they have been congealed somehow. Oh, okay. So I see that the issue could be related to a romantic relationship because we have the Lovers card, number 42. Love lulls all sorrow and bewitches flesh, mind, and breath, reminding me that I am unafraid of the unfurling winds of my eternity. Beautiful. So again, we are getting a lot of weather-related phenomena, chills, winds. Let's see what else. Oh my goodness, roses, a couple married in the depths of the forest. The soft petal felt upon your flesh is ready to release her thorns. Wow, okay, so it's kind of like you're becoming incredibly vulnerable, potentially after a period in which you felt like your emotions were being put in a fridge-like situation. I also have here the meadow, number 31. Let your being be as full and vibrant as a summer meadow. I mean, look at the gorgeousness of these decorations, or illustrations, better said. We have here as well, rooted. This is from the OG Halloween Seasons of the Witch Oracle. May you never tear the living ritual that is magic merged within the roots of your being, the soil of your soul. Wow, so I feel that a period of stability, of finding your roots, is coming into your life. Starting a family, getting married, falling in love and admitting it. Oh, and what do we see here? Yeah, so we have grimoire. Keep what is sacred near to you, for it is only to be shared when you are ready. And I'm kind of getting the intuitive description that this woman could be pregnant. You know, she could be nurturing a child. And we also have the final card, Spring Hike, number 14. A horizon of possibilities welcomes the curiosity of your soul. These cards are just so beautiful. I'm so happy to be able to share them with you because I am a little bit dumbstruck at how magical and gentle and gorgeous they are. So, I feel that love is coming into your life, and the witches wanted you to know that. And not only love, but like love in all of its stages, a traditional kind of story to the love. Because I can also arrange the cards in such a way that you are able to see what I'm perceiving. But I see very clearly that you've been spending quite a considerable amount of time being alone and feeling in some way uprooted. There. Now you can see the full picture, yeah? So being alone hasn't necessarily been a bad thing for you, but it's kind of like you have reached a point in which you have been having enough and you are melting away into softer, more vulnerable energy. So if you were able to take good care of yourself and to make the best of what life has been throwing at you, more or less, you see how she's making elderberry syrup from elderberries that she has collected herself by foraging in the woods. So you are a very self-sufficient, resourceful individual. You manage to live independently. You may have been raising a pet. We see here a familiar, right? You may have been spending a lot of time training your mind, reading, writing, developing yourself in silence, in solitude. And maybe you needed this. Maybe you have a very beautiful academic career. Maybe you are a writer. Maybe you're a person that creates a lot of content for other people to enjoy. Maybe you're a traveler who enjoys filming her or his experiences, and you are just basically completely consumed by your creative passion. You have a gift, a talent. God has blessed you with a gift, and you have been very focused on that gift and on creating some sort of income, some sort of life around that gift that you have. And now it is time for you to share yourself with somebody else, and the witches are blessing you with this energy. They have seen your dedication. They have seen how committed you are to your skills. And it's kind of like you can only grow so much in your current position. It is time right now for the winter of your life to slowly melt, leaving space for beautiful bushels of roses to grow. You have also been writing about this. So if you have been imagining your perfect relationship, the kind of relationship that you know in your heart would make you happy, if you have been writing down the characteristics of a potential lover, if you have been describing the path of how your life you would enjoy that it takes, if you have been saying, I'm going to meet somebody this summer, I'm going to fall in love, this person will reciprocate my feelings, we will be very close together, our relationship will be filled with trust and honesty, we will have a lot of things in common, we will be very compatible, we will be engaged by the end of autumn, and we will have a spring wedding, and then next year our child will come into this world, and we will be a happy little family by next summer. So if you have been envisioning your love life in this way, if you have been thinking beautifully about what you imagine, it's coming into being. Okay, so I'm here to let you know your manifestation is coming into being. Hooray! I'm so happy for you. I mean, these cards are just gorgeous. I want you to have another look at them because, as you can see, the grimoire does tell me that you have been busily writing things down in your book of magic, your book of spells. A grimoire is just basically a diary in which you write down spells, manifestations, prayers, what is working, what is not working, your dreams, and any other episodes of magic and the occult or the surreal that you have experienced in your life. Yeah, and it's a very beautiful practice if you have a person that studies with you, or a child or a family member that is interested in what you do as well, to hand the book down from generation to generation. And this way it becomes even more valuable and important, as wisdom is a collection of energies from all our family members that many members have contributed to, and a grimoire can hold a lot of wisdom. So I highly recommend that you start one. I also have here with the roses the universal symbol for love, passion, connection. My heart is beating for you, our hearts are beating together. And then it's not only that, but we have the Lovers card. It's like a feeling of beautiful relief, of finally flowing organically into the person that is meant for you. No pushing, no shoving, no control, no obsession, no anxiety, no I want to be in a connection right now at all costs. Why is everybody else coupled up and I'm not? That's ego, that's just ego. You were biding your time. Yeah, you were patiently waiting. Much like Jeff Bridges in The Big Lebowski, a cult classic. You were like the dude or the dudette abides, you just enjoy your time, enjoy your friends. And if bad luck appeared in your life, you were dealing with it. And if good opportunities appeared, you were enjoying them and multiplying them. And now the biggest opportunity of them all, the chance for you to transform your life through love, is blessing you. Yeah, and the witches want you to be aware of this. It's a conscious choice, because you could be a little bit resistant to including another person into your life. Now that you have built your life on such strong pillars. Your confidence grew as a consequence of all the things you were able to achieve on your own. And you're kind of like, you're a little bit worried. It's like, what's going to happen if I jump into a connection? Will I be losing my identity? Will I be completely subservient to my partner? Will there be weird power plays? Will I be blocked from practicing my craft? Will I have to put the things I love on pause? Will I have the time to do what I love? Will I have space for my freedom, my emotions, my own state of being? Because I feel you really care about these things, and I 100% I am with you on this. I also love my personal space and I love to live by myself. But yes, from time to time, because we're human and our brains are social, we feel the need for other people. We feel the need for connection. And now I feel like this need of yours that has been in some way always diminished, and you've always been made hungry for a connection that truly matters to you. This need will finally be fulfilled, and you will not have to do with being hungry for emotion, hungry for feeling. I can also see that you may be a special character. You could be an INTJ, INFJ on the Myers-Briggs categorization personality list. And I feel like you've always been a little bit special in the way in which you see reality. And hey, I'm 100% on board with you guys because I am one too. So it has been difficult to find somebody that kind of flows on the same wavelength as you. But I see that now, this is the time at which you will be able to find this partner that just fits with you, this partner that just glues or gels with you. And you will finally be able to fall into this person's arms and breathe a sigh of relief. It's like, I'm so happy I found you. I'm so happy I waited. And I'm so happy that we just kind of like drifted into each other without pushing, without forcing for things to happen. We are just meant to be. And it feels so good to love you so freely. Oh my goodness, I just completely blushed. You don't see my face and it's better because I think I'm completely pink right now. But on this beautiful note, I don't feel the need to spoil this reading with any more interpretation. I hope that you have enjoyed this reading. Thank you kindly for listening. The Coven and the witches are by your side, blessing you with one of the most beautiful things in the world, love. So enjoy your gift and I'll see you in my next one. Bye-bye. Hey group 3, welcome to this special reading in which I am summoning up the powers of the Coven, especially the Seasons of the Witch Oracle decks, to give you advice for where you find yourself in life at this point in time when you stumble upon this reading. So this reading is for those of you who are drawn either to this Oracle card of the Cauldron or the Womb, number 26, or maybe you are drawn to the actual object that I have here. I'm being very careful because this little pot is filled with water and I lit up this tea light for you. You know that water and fire in just the right amount, it's the stuff of magic, at least from an alchemist's point of view. So, all this being said, let's see what messages you need to hear from the witches. I'm diving straight in. I feel like you may be pressed for time. Okay, so we have here the first card, Witch's Rosary. Aha, we're dealing with somebody who's initiated in the dark arts here. Welcome. So we have number 43, craft your skills with intentions. Repeated, a practice of magic powered by purpose. Okay, so it seems like you are being given the heads up in terms of the spells you have been doing. You may have been distracted. It's like the witches are saying, we notice your devotion, but you need to put a bit more focus and attention into what you're doing. Also, I kind of have a feeling you may be on the receiving end of evil eye in this period. Let's see what the other cards have to say. Gratitude. All that I am and all that I'll be, forever in gratitude I'll eternally be. The light in the dark, the warmth in the chill of winter. This is who you are. So I can see that my fellow light workers have chosen this pile. Oh, more indicators of magical folk. We have the fae or the fairies. Not everything is as it may seem. Be cautious, dear one, for there is a story beneath the tale. So do not be fooled by illusions, especially illusions of the mind, illusions of the eyes. In this period, it's essential to draw strength from your intuition. I also see here number 44, the wildflowers. We have, when you allow yourself to imagine wildly, worlds of worlds are created. So not only your intuition, but your imagination can be your best tool to manifest in this period. And to give your witches' rituals a better outcome, if your spells have been backfiring. We have prayers to the earth, 34. Become present with the blessings you already have. May gratitude fill your heart. How beautiful is that? And now we also have a card from the OG. This is the Halloween Seasons of the Witch Oracle, the first one I was gifted. We have reflection, number 32. Be wary of things you believe to see with eyes wide shut, for they are mirrors of the mad and truths only spoken with a bleeding tongue. Exactly. It seems like the witches are trying to tell you, see with your soul, not with your eyes. So now we have here as well incense. Allow the smoke to reveal the truth, clearing the haze while lifting the fog. You could be very much influenced by the transit of Neptune at the moment. The planet that creates illusions, but also it is the planet of magic. And we have here terrarium, number 43. It is those foundations weaved with mindfulness that will long sustain you. Okay, I am being given the very strong message to tell you, my love, that in this period, it is better to do nothing at all than to do something half-assed or just because you feel the pressure to do it. It is better to rest and dream than to go ahead and pursue a goal, pursue an idea or a person just because you feel the ambition to achieve it. Yeah? I also feel like you could be in a connection with somebody who could be very clingy, and it is important to protect your energy. We have here the mirror, to create a ritual around your space and the other person's space. We have the witch's rosary. It is also important as well with the terrarium and this glass bottle to draw these boundaries that contain your energy and protect you from spilling it out. Sometimes even the people that love us can drain us of energy. And it is a hard truth to admit to ourselves that we would do better by not being in contact with them as often as they would like to or as we feel pressured to get into. You have also been straying away from your practice of prayer and gratitude. And that's why you are being pushed in a period of solitary reflection. You may be feeling like in this period you live like a hermit. Although you are a young person, you live like an old person. But it is only because you need to find the courage to create from the heart in this space of solitude. Be honest with yourself and truly understand what is it that you have been feeling guided towards. Some of you are being pushed into the creation of something unique, something that the collective has not yet had the pleasure to enjoy. Maybe you need to compose an album. Maybe you need to paint or draw something that will be quite influential. Maybe you need to write or to create content that is quite unique and will blow people's minds once you put the finishing touches on it and you release it. The divine is removing distractions, so your relationships could be quite thorny in this period. But imagine yourself as living in a terrarium. You are a tiny insect, you are a tiny plant growing safely within the borders of this glass casing. Sanctify your space. We have such spiritual elements in your reading. Gratitude, incense, prayers to the earth. We have the witch's rosary. We have the fae and the wildflowers. which kind of tells me that the release state of your solitary confinement at the moment, because it feels almost like you are in a self-imposed solitary confinement period of your life. But don't let it depress you. Rather, allow it to help you rest and create. When you find yourself alone walking through life, it is an opportunity for you not only to rest, but to detach yourself from the opinions and influence of other people, and to truly begin to carve your own path, to figure out who you are in the absence of the criticism or the validation of people around you. If your phone stopped ringing, if you're no longer invited to social events, if there has been a cooling off of love and affection between you and your relatives, and you guys decided not to visit each other as often as you could, don't worry, don't take it to heart. It is a period in which you are being brought into your body, into your true self, to sanctify the space where you live. And it's not about you living in the most beautiful, luxurious environments. You could be living in the poorest region in the city where you live, or in a very small town with not many opportunities. But it's the energy that you carry into such spaces that matters, because you, with your body, your breath, your mind, your heart, you sanctify a space. You bring this energy of beautifying it, purifying it, blessing it. So, if you are looking for a safe space where you can regroup yourself at the moment, you need to understand that it's not only the space that can protect you, but you can craft such a space for yourself. You can create a place into a home, a space into a sanctuary, and something that looks uninviting and boring into something that brings you inspiration and makes you feel held and protected. So this is a period of deep reflection. Analyze your relationships. Try to see them honestly. Look at what you did right, look at what you did wrong. Learn from your mistakes and be grateful for the things that you think you aced in these relationships. Craft prayers or follow the prayers of spiritual people that will appear in your life as guiding role models. Definitely cleanse your space with incense and carry a protective symbol, either an obsidian bracelet or maybe even a small silver crucifix around your neck. Carry a witch's rosary and decorate your body in a way that feels in alignment with who you are at this point in time and not with what you believe other people would like you to look like. I see as well some interesting energies here, because we have the mirrored energy of number 34 and number 43. We have the Grandmaster number 44 and we have 43 here as well, yeah? And I am guided to say that you are learning in this period how to be an individual, my love. You're learning how to develop your personality and how to make decisions on your own without the influence of mother, father, sister, brother, doctors or teachers or priests or other people that used to have an influence over you in the past. And this is not a punishment, this is a gift. The witches are here applauding. They fought tooth, nail, and claw. They put blood, sweat, and tears into their independence. They were women who were outcasts, rejected by society for their intelligence, their beauty, their wealth. Women who were clever enough to make a name for themselves. Women who wanted to heal other women and provide a safe space for them, but they were considered outcasts and punished for what they were doing. So the fact that you get to have independence, a certain financial security that allows you to be on your own, the fact that you have resources that you can borrow or lend or buy or acquire, and that can help you do the thing that makes you happy, is a phenomenal achievement, and the Coven is applauding you. Whereas they were chained and beaten and completely persecuted for the fact that they wanted to practice their faith, you get to live in a time and a space where you can do this without really horrendous social repercussions. And this is the gift of the wildflowers. Reclaim that wild within. Allow yourself to feel happy for your independence. Allow yourself to enjoy your freedom. It's not a prison. It is a safe space for you to grow and expand into. Wake up each morning grateful for the fact that you have a body, that you can breathe, for the most simple things that we take for granted each day. Light incense and say a prayer. Carry some protective amulets or beads or crystals, and feel safe in the environment where you are, in spite of what other people are telling you about that environment. Because you can live in a place and love it, and other people could constantly complain about it. And you, not even other people, but media could complain about a space. But we can find beautiful things, and we can have a very unique connection with our environment, no matter where we find ourselves in the world as human beings. And I feel like you have this gift, but oftentimes you get polluted by other people's opinions and impressions, because other people can be more domineering or authoritarian, and they exercise this unwanted power over you. Well, the witches have removed the power and influence of other people from your life. And if you find yourself solitary at the moment, it is a gift. Create. Go ahead and unleash your imagination. The world needs your gifts. So craft in silence and pray for good outcomes. And you will be delivered exactly where you need to be. I feel like this is the resounding message of these beautiful cards. Don't worry, because your creativity, although tested, is now coming to fruition. And you are at the final stretch, potentially the hardest spot, in which you have to pull yourself together from all lifetimes and all spaces, and to just give the final outcome. Create the final chapter. Put a nail in the coffin of the project you have begun. Or go over it and begin again in spaces where you feel there needs to be more refinement. You have been given the space, the conditions. Now act, play, and let loose from your heart what you know is true and right and beautiful. So these are what the witches would like to tell you, group 3. It's such a beautiful message. I feel inspired right now. I don't know if you have enjoyed the reading, but I felt inspired while reading the cards. So thank you kindly for listening. I hope you enjoyed this unique kind of reading. I felt very called to do this for you guys. I feel like many of you may need to hear these messages. So thank you for listening. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being part of my crew. I, like you, am in deep gratitude and will welcome you in my next one. Take care until then. Bye-bye.